In this video, we're going to talk about Christmas traditions for married couples because, quite frankly, sometimes it's just a bit awkward. Okay, whose do you follow? What if you don't like them? What's the point of the weird ones?
For example, in my family home, we don't do traditions, or at least we don't do traditions except for church and food and the Queen, and that's it, really.
Yeah, whereas my family have loads. We have loads. So both my parents grew up in Kent, so I think they sort of wanted Christmas to be full of traditions and fun things for me and my brother. And then plus my mum's French, and so she wanted to make sure it wasn't a strictly British affair, and so we had some French traditions thrown in there as well.
Obviously.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Remember, as a couple, especially as a married couple, you are your own unit now. As Genesis chapter 2 says that a man shall leave his mum and dad and cleave unto his wife. So it doesn't mean hello to you. It doesn't mean that he completely forgets his mum and dad. But
you're supposed to honour your mother and father.
Yeah,
doesn't mean just like blank them.
It's not like complete change. All right, that's it. I'm married. That's it. It's finished.
Goodbye.
I'm doing something else. No. But you're going to bring things with you,
of course,
from your family home, right?
Yeah.
So, but you're still a new unit now. So
you'll end up sort of smushing your traditions together, and that's good. It is. And so here's some of our traditions.
Yep.
Stockings. This came from my house because despite the fact that both his family are British, there's no stockings in his household.
So fussy. Oh,
Don't understand. So we have stockings, as you can see. All of our kids have stockings, and on Christmas Eve, in the night time, they all get filled up, and in the morning, they open their Christmas stockings, and we open our Christmas stockings on Christmas morning, which is from my house.
That's right. How about from me? Watching the Queen's speech.
You need to watch the Queen.
That's a big thing.
Actually, both our houses, to be fair.
Yeah. But for my house, it's very rigid.
Yeah.
In my family home, you're watching or at least listening to the Queen's speech, and you better believe that you're going to get shushed if you start talking over the Queen.
Number 3, holly hunting. So this is actually from my house. My mum always did this. She did this when she was a child, when she was in France, and she did it with me and my brother when we were little. So basically, we go find holly in a forest or a local park. Moving on. And so we don't tell anybody. No, it's just
collection. It's just general collection.
So we get holly basically, and we just stick get a spruce of it, and then we use it on a mantelpiece. We actually haven't done it yet when we filmed this video, but we will be doing it soon.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. It's a tradition, obviously.
Yeah, obviously traditional.
All right. Going to look at the lights in the city, which is kind of both of us. We're both from London, so.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what you got to do. You, as a Londoner, you go up to the city to look at the fancy dancy Christmas lights.
Even though everybody else is there, and you probably don't get to see enough lights anyway. But now we do it mostly in the car. We do it in the car.
Yeah.
And so
we drive.
It's cool for everybody else, less cool for the driver, if I'm honest.
I'm sorry for your loss.
But each of us have our roles, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, next, so from my house as well, we get oranges and then we put cloves in them, like we decorate them and we have them around the house smelling nicely.
I do not like the smell of orange oil on people's skin. It's grim, I'm telling you. Yes. But the cloves in the orange thing, that smells nice. So I observe that tradition taking place, not get involved. Whoa. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, and another one from my house is that we make sure we have croissants for breakfast on Christmas Day. Not at all a traditional British breakfast whatsoever, but we have croissants and coffee, and the kids have orange juice. Anyway, that's from my house, because when I was little, my mum used to always make sure we have croissants for Christmas morning.
Okay. KFC.
We don't have it on Christmas Day. Okay?
But
just for the record, we do not have KFC on Christmas Day. We have this as a seasonal time.
Yeah, because, as you probably know, I did study Japanese language at university, and I'm obviously very interested in the country, etc., etc. But when we were homeschooling
our kids,
we
weren't homeschooled.
We weren't homeschooled. When we were homeschooling our kids, one of the modules that we did do for a month was looking at Japan and how it was interesting and different traditions and stuff. And one of the traditions that the Japanese seem to have, and it's quite a big deal, is booking months in advance. Months in
Very
advance.
They did a really good publicity over there.
They must have done.
Very good.
Months in advance, the KFC Christmas dinner thing.
Yeah. So we
observed that.
That's just
Just
the
for
last
fun.
couple of years we seem to have.
Yeah.
We've sort of adopted that since we've.
I'm not
been
scared.
homeschooling.
It's a fun.
okay.
It's a fun.
The kids
That's
don't
that's a tradition that we've imported
Yeah, that's just us.
and enjoy doing
Yeah.
the importing of that one. Church. That's
Yes.
quite clearly mine because I am obviously a dyed-in-the-wool pastor's kid, and there's no getting around it. We had church. Church was to be had, and for the record, everyone, it's good to have church.
It is.
That's
pretty good.
that's the thing. So you know.
Yeah. So we still. I mean, as a like every Christmas, we will go as a family to church on Christmas morning at 10 a.m. But that's sort of smooshed together because one of the traditions that we have actually from that is that we don't open Christmas presents until after going to church. For multiple reasons, that like making sure that the priority is actually the reason for Christmas, and Jesus is the reason for the season.
Yeah.
But also just logistically, it just makes the day a little bit less stressful.
It makes it less stressful.
Yes, it makes it less stressful. It makes it less stressful. It makes it less stressful because you don't have like the kids trying to open all their presents in a rush before they get to church, and they're sort of begrudgingly going to church because they want to play with their toys.
That's the thing.
It's making sure they open their stockings, and so they have something on Christmas morning, but it's making them realise actually the purpose for Christmas is like
is actually something way
what-
bigger than just getting some presents.
so,
'Cause in the end, presents, they're not important.
they're nice, but
They're nice. They're not important.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, everyone. If you force a tradition, it probably won't stick. But you most likely, I bet, if you looked into your recent history, even if you're a brand new, newly married couple, I bet that if you looked into your recent history, then you would see some traditions that have come from your families, plural, both of you, and they are important to you, and they're not going anywhere. And what you've already done is started the book of your own traditions, basically.
Yeah.
Because, like we said earlier, you're cleaving together, and together you make a new unit, which is actually pretty fantastic because your parents did the same thing.
Yeah.
And over the time of joining together and being together as a family, you will, as your separate families, I'm saying, you will have developed traditions, and now it's your turn.
Yeah.
So you don't have to feel kind of weirdly obligated. Or
Because I mean, there's just like some traditions that I want my house decorated for Christmas. Not to be bad. No, okay, let me just, for the record, they do actually fully decorate their house and everything.
but we do it fully last minute.
It's just like at the last minute, whereas I like my decorations up, and I like things Christmassy and Christmas music and all of that.
Do you know, I think it's part of the thing is because we're ministry household, so we're busy all the time.
Yeah.
And that's probably
there's
part
a lot
of it, you know?
yeah, there is a lot of that. But like, there's also other traditions that my family did that I probably won't do. I don't do either. Because, like, for example, when I was a kid, the tradition was that me and my brother would get to sleep in the living room.
No.
Not gonna happen.
No.
Because I like my child-free space in the evening. I don't
Yeah.
want to be stuck in my bedroom. I want to have the living room. I want to have full access to snacks in the kitchen. So that tradition, that was really fun memory for me as a kid. Like, sleeping in the room was so exciting, but I'm not gonna do that.
No. No.
So either way, do you have to have Christmas traditions? No, you don't have to have them, but you will develop them. And
Yes. And what you'll find that the ones that have, some of them are already important in your life.
Yeah.
And those ones are the ones that stick without you even trying. And like I said, the book of your traditions is already being written, which is,
And you
kind
get
of
to
cool.
make up new ones.
It's true.
So with that, we wish you all a very, very merry, happy Christmas.
Yes, indeed. And a happy new year.
And
all of God's best wishes, best gifts, best blessings, etc.
on your marriage, on your relationships, on everything.
And on 2022 and all the years after it.
All right, guys. Bye.